Hey, my groceries are in the fridge. I found a portion of Rose Thorn Reacts um, vlog from yesterday, in which she covered the lolcow that she's checking out right now to see if this will be new content for her. And so let's see how this one goes.
Madness. Oh, look at the baby booger behind me. She's sleeping. She's being a good girl. All right, where are we starting first? There's so much to go over. Her sparkling personality is going to be on full display. But I guess Willow, they have had, I guess, a helper or more than one helper. And I guess there was a situation where they decided to go after their helper. Really tear them a new one. Really?
So Willow is, I think, mainly on TikTok. This is a non-binary individual who prefers they, them pronouns. I guess ASweetMadness might be like the screen name or something for this person. And they are pretty much unemployable. So the only way they make any bit of money is through TikTok and selling stuff. Apparently they're selling some things. And I don't know what else. Like, it just seems impossible. Pretty much the person lives in mom's house rent free, so we're not and I think gets disability payments and claims that they cannot work because of whatever health issues or whatnot. But on the other clip that Rose showed the other day, somebody brought up the fact in her chat that she was fired from a movie theater job, and she was like, I'm sorry, they were like, that was 26 years ago. Why are you bringing that up? Well, it's the last thing I guess you have on your resume, so maybe it's relevant in regards to not being unemployed or being unemployable. It seems like you can't take direction. It seems like you're a miserable person to be around. And every job, regardless of where you are in a company, requires some level of customer service skills. So, all right, let's check this out.
I don't think that's a good idea, Willow. You are someone that you need help. And let's not forget that this helper isn't getting paid much money to not only take care of Willow, but also assist Willow in taking care of their cats. All 7 of them, plus 2 dogs. So there's an entire household that has to be looked after and taking care of someone who has mobility issues.
Never miss out on savings when you shop with
The cleaning, the feeding, and all this person is getting is $10 an hour. That is so not enough money. But Willow lacks.
Well, and also in many neighborhoods, there are restrictions on how many animals you are allowed to own. So I'm surprised that, especially since Willow has such a difficulty with relating to the people around them, that they haven't been reported for having too many animals at that location. Because it can be reported through the city. So whoever lives near them That sort of stuff is usually not acceptable to municipalities because it's more than just a negligence thing. It's also a health hazard. And I mean, there's so much that can go wrong with that many animals.
Understanding and patience and kindness. And she's forever taking stuff out on people. Just completely ungrateful. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to bring up that live stream where she's going off on this person who is the helper. Let me go ahead and get the video. And again, all of these clips are courtesy of Wendy's World. Leaving links for all the videos in the video description. So please check out the channel. There's so many cows there. And I'm going to be looking through and finding the good cows for y'all. There's just so many. It's not a matter of finding one. There's just so many. You're like, which one do you want? Literally, which one do you want? Well, right now, Willow, I'm interested in you. I'm very interested in you. So I want to talk about you. Let me just make sure I am where I need to be. Perfect. Okay, let's go.
Making this video because I'm backed into a corner.
Okay, hold on. Let's go.
And I guess
hold on, Willow. Hold on. Okay, now we're ready.
Okay.
Making this video because I'm backed into a corner, and I guess
You know what I've noticed about the lolcows? When they want attention, they make claims about, I had to make this video. It's a priority. It's important. I had to do this. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. How do you have to do anything? How is it a have to go on YouTube or TikTok and air out your dirty laundry? Like, what purpose does that serve? If you got a problem with somebody or you've had a problem with somebody, how is bringing it to the internet to complete strangers going to make it better? How is that going to solve whatever problems there might be? It makes no sense. Mm-hmm. You're not coming to the internet to solve a problem. You're coming to the internet to embarrass a person, humiliate a person, have people go after them. And this is not a fair court of law here, where you've got two people in court and they can both give their side. What right. We have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a person giving their side of things. And because Willow is a narcissist and selfish and self-centered and self-absorbed and just straight up mean, of course she's going to, they are going to paint a picture of everything is this person's fault and it's not mine. Of course she is.
Of course.
Because when it comes to a narcissist in every story, they are either the hero or the victim or both at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think we learned that watching Chantal. The narcissist cows always have the same type of traits. Certainly they're prevalent here with ASweetMadness. But go ahead, tell us all about your woes, Willow.
I have to. Mm-hmm. The person that stayed with me before and shortly after surgery has made threats. So here's my response to those threats. No.
If someone has made threats against you, like serious threats of bodily harm, you go to the cops because they are the ones who can help you. If you're in fear of your life, if you're in fear of your safety, if you're being harassed online, you go to the proper authorities. Again, what can strangers on the internet do? What can people on TikTok do for you? If you're going through something and you want to vent, okay, but Willow, you are approaching your audience like, I have a problem and it's up for you, all of you to solve it. When they can't solve it, they're not directly involved. They don't have any influence. So it's silly to bring it to them. You're dumping your dirty laundry in their living room and saying, do the laundry for me, clean it, fold it, put it away. Not nice.
She didn't eat all my food. She ate a lot of it.
Okay, hold on. We got to back up.
Response to those threats. No, she didn't eat all my food. She ate a lot of it. Stuff that I bought for us, stuff that was intended for us to eat, stuff I shouldn't.
Are you sure you didn't just eat it yourself and forget because you eat so much?
Have spent money on.
So you're saying that this person who's the helper, that you bought food for the both of you? Mm-hmm. Were there designated items that were only yours? Did this person know that? Were they made aware that these items are off limits, they're strictly for me, and then you can have these items? Because if they didn't, then...
Well, and don't they also have some roommates left who could have also tapped into that food? Like, how can they be so certain?
Maybe they consumed something and didn't know that it was strictly for you. And now you're admitting that some of the stuff you bought wasn't good for you. And here, that's interesting, Willow, mm-hmm. because you have come online begging for money. There's so many video clips of you on YouTube begging for money. I need money for bills. I need money for cat food. I need money for cat litter. I need money to take my cats to the vet. I need money for this. I need money for that. But I love the fact that you're much like Foodie Beauty and you're telling on yourself. Right now, in this moment, you are telling on yourself. You are self-confessing that you buy things that you don't need, right, and are not good for you. That basically tells the audience, I've got enough money. I just choose to spend it irresponsibly versus responsibly and take care of my needs.
Well, what's also interesting is she's staring straight into the camera on this. I mean, they are staring straight into the camera on this particular video, versus the other clip that Rose showed, in which she didn't speak for, or they did not speak for several minutes at the beginning, and was either watching TV or taking phone calls while the TikTok live was going on, and just spent the whole time yelling at people in their chat for ridiculous reasons. It was a Thanksgiving video, and one of her chatters simply asked, "Who do you have coming over for Thanksgiving?" And they flipped the fuck out. Like, if you don't want to get into names and details, I'm having family and friends, or I'm just celebrating with friends, or I'm going to do it on a different day, whatever. But it doesn't need to be a big production.
It's like there's no any Floyd.
But that was my choice. I made those choices.
Mm-hmm.
I told her to take the leftovers with her.
So what's the feeling that you bought food and she's only supposed to eat the leftovers? What? I'm buying the food, but you can only eat it if I give you leftovers? What is that supposed to mean? Like, you make the food and she eats off your plate? Or what you don't want? I mean, I've got questions.
She drank a lot of my Cokes. I went through a case in 2 days.
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that at all. Oh, oops. Excuse me for just... Sorry about that. Let's keep going. So, Willow is claiming that the helper went through 2 cases of soda in 2 days.
That's the claim.
I don't know who the helper is. I don't know their name. Don't want to know. But why do I have a feeling that it was Willow who drank all the soda? I have a feeling that it was Willow who drank that soda and trying to pin it on the helper. Absolutely.
I don't go through cokes that fast.
I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I don't.
I know I drink a lot of cokes.
Boom, another self-confession. I drink a lot of Cokes. Maybe it was you that drank the Cokes. Maybe you drank them so fast that you just went to reach down for another one and said, oops, they're all gone. And you forgot that you drank them, and so you're trying to pin it on somebody else.
But I don't go through them that fast.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
She did not eat all my food. The drama started because I asked her if she smoked while at my house. Not in my house. I said, hey, did you smoke while you were here? Because we found something on my bathroom counter that I didn't know if it belonged to her or someone else. And I was going to return it if it was hers.
What is the implication here? It feels like there's some kind of implication to something. Mm-hmm. I found something on my bathroom counter. If it were something, say, legal, I would think that she would name it. Like, say, a cigarette butt. But there's an implication that it was something that they can't talk about, that they are not directly naming. Like, there's an implication of something, maybe against the law.
That was the whole thing that started this fight. I asked her if she wanted to stay a couple extra days. Number one, because she was so damn exhausted that she would have hurt herself driving home. But number two, because I knew I was going to need help with the dogs and need help with myself after my surgery.
So another self-confession right there. Mm-hmm. So you have somebody that is your aide, that lives with you, and you just told us that that poor woman is exhausted. I would imagine so. Taking care of you and 7 cats and 2 dogs is exhausting. Taking care of someone who is lacking in mobility, the bathing, the cleaning, the cooking, getting groceries, running errands, it's an all-day job. Being a caretaker is a serious job, and that goes for anybody, anywhere. It's a full-time occupation. But on top of taking care of Willow, this caretaker, this helper, aide, is not only taking care of Willow and seeing to their needs, but the needs of more than half a dozen pets. The changing of the water bowls, making sure they have fresh water, making sure they have food, changing out multiple litter boxes, because anybody that's ever had a cat knows if you have a cat, there's got to be like 1 litter box per cat. You can't have multiple cats using the same litter box. It won't work. So I don't know how many litter boxes are in the house, but each one of them has to be cleaned. The litter changed. If it's regular litter, you got to change the litter every few days. If it's regular litter, if it's scoop litter, you got to constantly scoop out the waste to keep it clean. If a cat's litter is not clean, there is a chance that they will mess on the floor because they have nowhere else to do it. A cat's instinct is to bury their waste. It's hardwired into them. Cats bury their waste because out in the wild, they bury the waste so that predators don't know that they're around. They make sure that there's no smell to have the predators follow. So this poor woman is exhausted. This poor aide, $10 an hour. Even if Willow paid her $20 an hour, $30 an hour, it still wouldn't be enough. Because not only is she an aid to a human, she's being a pet carer at the same time. She's doing like 2 or 3 different jobs. Errand runner, pet carer, human carer. Doing 3 or 4 different jobs for $10 an hour. Not enough. Definitely not enough.
I mentioned this on the live stream I did yesterday, that the Fight for 15 that Bernie Sanders campaign was waging in the 2015-2016 presidential cycle has changed to the Fight for 25. There is nobody who should be earning $10 an hour, especially doing such difficult work as caregiver. Having to take care of this death fat. Come on.
Plain and simple. And yes, I asked a lot of her while she was here.
Because it seems to be a reoccurring theme with you, Willow. You ask a lot of a lot of people. You ask a lot from anybody and everybody around you. You ask a lot from the people that were your roommates, from your aide, from your family, from the people on TikTok. You go out and spend money on wigs. You buy yourself wigs. And you get stuff from Amazon. Despite the fact that you do tarot readings on TikTok and you have these different businesses set up that really should be generating revenue, and you're living in a house where you're not paying rent, and you're getting disability, and you're on different programs, and you're getting food stamps, and you're going to the food bank. You got all of these organizations and people helping you. Not a single ounce of gratitude for any of it. Not one bit. You just feel entitled. Like you're supposed to get it. Society should just take care of you. It's an obligation. No, it's not. You should take care of yourself. You have very unpleasant energy. Did anybody ever tell you that? You got very unpleasant, icky energy.
And that's quite frankly why I personally am not going to be tuning into a lot of this particular content, because it is, I mean, it's worse than watching Chantel and her meltdowns or watching her stuff her face. We don't know yet if, I think Rose is trying to be pretty careful about selecting material, and I think Yaba is doing this too, selecting subjects who are not eating a lot on camera, because times are changing, folks. YouTube hasn't cracked down on the subjects too much, although they need to, and they probably will ultimately. TikTok has been doing it more so. But it's going to happen, because these channels are going to start getting age restricted at the very least.
It amazes me that someone who needs the kind of help that she does, the responsibilities are put on whoever person it is, asking far too much for so little, that she doesn't take that they don't take that in consideration and how they treat them. But it doesn't cross their mind. You know, I'm expecting that person to take care of me and my multiple pets and do errands and bathe me or feed me or run errands. I'm asking a lot of this individual. Maybe I should calm all the way down and relax with my attitude.
Because I needed the help. And
So if you are an individual, you need the help. Be grateful for the help. Because it seems, Willow, that you drive people away. People that want to help you, people that do help you, drive them away. It seems like everybody leaves you after a while. They can't take anymore. And you just don't learn the lesson. To keep people around, you got to be nice to them.
And had I known that all this shit was going to happen, I would have absolutely 100% asked somebody else to stay with me.
And who's going to do that? Who would want to? Anybody out there that want to sign up for a job where you're getting paid $10 an hour and you got to take care of somebody and a half a dozen pets when the individual in question isn't even nice? I can't think of anybody.
Yeah, she's going to be yelling at you all day. They're going to be yelling at you all day and accusing you of eating food that they probably ate, accusing you of drinking sodas that they probably drank, and also finding weird other things to accuse you of throughout the house. All right, so how did this end? What was, and I love the way she numbered it. So, first I offered her 2 more days to stay in the house because first she was exhausted and I didn't think it was safe for her to drive. Okay, so you're the good person now, really thinking for her, really making it. So would you do this like in the middle of the night? What time did this happen? This outburst, this interaction? Did you do this like in the middle of the night and realize that you can't throw somebody out in their 90s and tell them you're fired? And then the second 2 reasons were because she knew she was gonna, they knew they were gonna need help with the animals, and they knew they were gonna need help with their surgery. Seems like a dumbass thing to do to fire your aide then, huh? All right.
I can't. What is that old saying? The juice ain't worth the squeeze? Sounds like that orange doesn't have much juice to even make a cup of juice.
Because I certainly would not have thought that somebody that I considered a friend would threaten me for asking for help and for asking a simple question.
How were you threatened?
Plain and simple. But here's your video. And if you continue to threaten me, do know that
how were you threatened?
will not like the results.
So basically you're threatening her. You're using your TikTok account to threaten her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm warning you. Is this individual subscribed to your YouTube channel? If it's a legal matter, if it's a criminal matter, if it's a matter of personal concern where you feel like you have to get the police involved, then go that route. I don't see the sense in telling everybody on TikTok and involving them when they don't have to be involved.
I'm already looking for a lawyer. I can add you to the list of people that lawyer will be in contact with.
Okay.
I am just telling you right now. You need to worry about yourself, live your life, and I will live mine. I will never speak of you again. Worry not.
And yet she does. Because there's another video I'm going to show you guys. She actually got on TikTok going to court for a protective order. She actually streamed that on TikTok. And I got stuff to say about that too. But we'll get to that in a minute.
I am sorry that I ever invited you into my life.
Well, you know what? I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about you.
Yeah.
I'm sure your family, they feel that way about you. Anybody who tried to be a friend feels that way about you. A lot of people on TikTok that subscribe to you feel the same way. People you might have blocked, people you might have gotten mad at because they asked a simple question and you popped off. Again, you're not a pleasant person. No good energy here.
Mm-mm.
But issue resolved. Stay out of mine.
I'm wondering how many aides and helpers has Willow gone through? Like, I've heard that they have gone through at least 6 roommates.
Mm-hmm.
How many aides have come and gone from Willow's life? Because they tried to help and they couldn't take the workload or the attitude or both. How many people? So that was the video. Let's see if there's anything interesting in the comments, because sometimes comments, they give little seeds of information. Sarah says, begs on the daily, can't even afford DoorDash, but can afford a lawyer. Sure, Jan. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Because lawyers are not cheap. Comes on TikTok and begs for money for all kinds of things, but can afford a lawyer? They don't work for free. So Smith says, what did I miss? When did all this happen? I remember things like this with a caretaker she had, and I think she had someone living with her that ended bad. Seems like she really likes to blame others when the problem is really her. I agree with that. I love when describing Blankgate, how she says, yes, I drink a lot of Coke, but not that much in 2 days, but then doesn't, oh, there's more. Doesn't say how many she actually does drink. Good point. So, Willow, if you had 2 cases of Cokes, you didn't exactly say how many the aide drank versus you.
Mm-hmm.
I would think if you were keeping track of that, you would know exactly how many this person drank and be able to say, I drank 6 and they drank 8. You know, like, give us some numbers. Just struck me as odd. Most people, when trying to defend themselves, would make a point to say how many they do drink in a day to back their story. But she just leaves it as not that much. Sets off my lie detector, hashtag Cokegate. Well, I saw another clip of Willow where they went to the store, and the soda is a thing for Willow. They love the soda. So I don't believe the story of the aide drank the soda. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
If this aide is responsible for Willow, spending all the time running errands and taking care of the pets and cleaning the house and whatever else, when does the aide have time to sit down and drink that much soda? You ain't got no time. You can't sit down, even relax. You're busy doing things all day long. I don't believe it. I don't.
No, me neither.
How do you claim someone is threatening you whilst you're threatening them? Another good point. So you're saying someone is threatening you, and yet you are throwing out a threat. Zero Regret says, wow, remember, this is one side of the story. This is one to stay away from. That's what I said earlier. There are 3 parts to a story. One side, the other side, and in the middle. To correctly judge, you got to know all sides. You got to know all perspectives. We're only getting the one side here. this is on the tarot front that when Willow does their tarot, Babby says, I find it funny that this one claims her witch ways while constantly watching repeats of Buffy and Supernatural on TV and trying to get people to pay for her tarot readings. A major aspect of ability to read the decks is not having to use the little instruction booklet that comes with most common card sets. The thing is, though, like I want to give my thoughts on that. If you are someone and you're just starting out, there is no shame or embarrassment in reading off that booklet to learn. There's no shame in learning. We all got to start somewhere. Okay. You pick up a deck, you're not going to automatically know what all the cards mean. So learning is important. And I don't know where Willow is with their learning. Like how long Willow has been doing tarot readings. Has it been a year? Has it been a month? All I know is that they are on TikTok doing tarot readings. But yes, I did notice that they were using the booklet a lot. So if you're someone and you are doing tarot readings for people and you want to tap into spirit, you want to just open up that channel of reading intuitively, you know, it would be wise to learn as much as you can about the cards. And that way, as soon as you set them down, you know what they mean and what they could potentially mean versus stopping to read a booklet or taking a guess. I've seen her, she draws cards and immediately.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it here and share the link, but this is the second lolcow audition that I've seen kind of going around. If I see some more potentials out there of people who are being covered as a replacement to Chantel, I will let you all know. Thank you for your time. Oh, and if you like my content, please like and subscribe.